One of the main things that draws people in to Amazon FBA is the fact that it has much lower overhead costs than if you were to open a local brick and mortar store, and it has higher returns. However, there are still a lot of things that you must do, learn, and buy before you start your Amazon business. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the essential checklist that you need so you can start your Amazon FBA business today. What's up, Empire Builders? My name is Gerald. I'm joined again today by the trusty whiteboard. And for those of you that don't know, I have just recently joined the club of a six-figure Amazon seller. I broke $175,000 in revenue. And when I started selling just over 7 months ago now, I was very excited. I jumped in and I just bought a software. I bought Jungle Scout, which is a product research software. We will get into that. But I bought that software, started doing product research, and then I realized that there was a lot of other stuff that I needed to get. And also, just a lot of things you need to understand and a lot of, I guess, best practices, which I didn't put into place right away. So this is for all you beginners out there. The channel has been growing really quickly, and this one is for you. So if you're brand new to FBA, then stay tuned because you're going to want to know everything on this list. So first thing we're going to start with is hardware. Whoa, with my chair. So first thing is hardware. And really the only thing you need in terms of hardware is a computer or a laptop, whatever it may be. You could use a Chromebook. I probably wouldn't suggest a Chromebook because it's a little limited. So if you only have a Chromebook, you could be fine. But I'd probably suggest something like this, like a MacBook or a PC, right? Or then a desktop. It doesn't matter really, but as long as you have some kind of laptop, then you're good to go. I've had questions from people asking if they could use, my dog is in the room now, if they can use their phone only, and answer is no. You're going to need some kind of computer. So now that you got that out of the way, you got your computer. And a side note, you're also going to need internet. I know that seems obvious, but if you're watching this video, then obviously you got that figured out. So now that you got your hardware, that's it. You got your storefront, really. That's the major barrier to entry, the biggest expense up front that you're going to need to start looking for products. Next, we're going to get into, before we get into software, things you need to buy, we're going to get into some of the free stuff you got to do with your computer so that we can just get your foot in the door and kind of get started. So number one is join communities and start networking. So my favorite things are Facebook groups and the FBA Reddit, which is called, I think it's called Fulfillment by Amazon, and there's one called Amazon FBA. So this is a very crucial step. Honestly, a lot of, me included, a lot of sellers wouldn't be as successful as they are today if they didn't have the connections and the friends and the people talking to people that have been there before. I know a lot of successful sellers that would give a lot of their credit to their success to Facebook groups and just talking to people, right? Every business is a people business, even if it's an online business. So join Facebook groups. If you don't know which ones to start with Entrepreneur Empire. That's our own group. We kind of let it die off for a bit, but we are getting very active again. Daily posts, daily engagement, daily questions being answered. So join Entrepreneur Empire. I'm not gonna lie, there are a lot of other Facebook groups out there. Join all of them. I'm not in just our own group. I'm in a lot of other Facebook groups because the more groups you're in, the more information you get, the more people, the more contacts you can get in contact with. Also, the FBA Reddit is great for posts, news, and also interacting with people. So that's something you can do for free on your computer and just to get your foot in the door and start learning. Next thing you can do is get free help online, which is what you're already doing, right? YouTube. I'm just going to add these things to the board. So you got YouTube videos. There's countless YouTube videos out there that are for beginners that you can get started and start learning. Obviously, you found our channel. There's a lot of other channels, a lot of other people posting great content. But we do have a lot of players on our channel for beginners to advanced all the way through. You can go to blogs, search internet for blogs, posts on FBA. It's really study free resources. Do your homework and don't just jump in, without actually knowing what you're getting into. You need to understand every aspect of this before you start looking for products, even before you start selling. There's podcasts and then courses. Now, we're going to get into courses a little bit later as well, but this I'm talking about free courses. Now, we have a free course. I didn't do this video to plug, but we do have a free course if you want to check it out right over there. And that's all I'm going to say about that. The next thing that you need for starting Amazon FBA is software. Now we're going to get into some of the paid stuff. We're going to get into the free stuff. but this is a very important part of your business. Now, some people might argue that you don't need software. You can do it all for free, but it's true, you can do everything for free without paying for software, but the tools are there that are available to help make your business better and make it easier to run, automate it. So I don't know why anyone would opt to not pay for the software. That's like saying you don't need a modern day cash register or point of sales machine because you have a calculator and you can do it all by hand. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. It's a little backwards. So if you want to take Amazon seriously, I definitely suggest getting these software. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the free ways you can get. Well, first we'll actually talk about what the software is for. So the main software that you're going to need is product research software. That's really all you're going to need to get started. Now there's other stuff that you might want to get later when you start selling, to make, to automate, to optimize, to make everything run smoother. But to just get your foot in the door, all you really need is product research. So the first thing we suggest is Viral Launch. Now, Viral Launch is a launching software for getting your product launched to the first page once you have a product, but also they also have Product Discovery, which is for finding products, and Market Intelligence. However, I don't suggest using Market Intelligence. I still say use Jungle Scout. Now, these are two competing companies, but they do well in their different respective fields. I think that Viral Launch has the best web app, which is a tool where you can put in your own filters, and it spits out results based on, you can look through keywords, products, brands, category. And then Jungle Scout has a great Chrome extension where this is where you're on Amazon.com. It's in the top right corner. You click the button and it has this big drop down that shows you all the stats for the sellers on that page. So those are two that you might want to get, but there's also the free way. I'm going to make a video on this, or I already did make a video on this. I'm pre-recording a lot of these vids, but I don't know what order they're going out. But one is called DS Amazon Quick View. Now this is free. It's a totally different method than going through Viral Launch and Jungle Scout. This one is based on BSR. Now if you don't know what BSR is, that's Amazon's way of ranking products, ranking sellers, based on sales velocity. So that's kind of a way you can do product research. Now again, I'm gonna have that video up on the channel in a few days, or it was posted a few days ago. Now the seller account is $40 a month for the pro account. And you can sell as individual, but I suggest get the pro account right away. The difference mainly is that the pro account lets you do advertising on Amazon. So the pay-per-click, that's how you can do that, is to have a pro account. And it's $40 every single month, USD. But if you don't sell, so say if you were to sign up today, and you didn't sell this month, and you didn't sell next month, and you didn't sell the month after that, you can call Amazon and just tell them to reimburse you for the months that you haven't sold any products. So sign up today so you can kind of get accustomed to it, learn the the tabs, navigate around Seller Central, and then if you don't sell, you can get the money back anyways. All right, so I total up, I put in the dollar amount for these software. So you got, it's not really software, but the seller account's $40 a month. Viral Launch, for the intermediate, they have different packages. It's monthly, or you can pay annual. But for the intermediate, it's $59 or $69 a month. And then Jungle Scout is a $97 one-time purchase fee. So altogether, to jump right in for your first month, it's going to be $200 up front. I'm going to assume you guys already have the computer and the internet figured out. So all in all, just to get your foot in the door, just to start looking for products and start with Amazon, it's just $200 for the actual tools that you're going to need. So now we're going to talk about the things that you need to understand. You're going to need time. Now this is a big one. A lot of people think that if you jump into an online business or Amazon FBA, that if you can do it kind of as a side hustle. You can do maybe an hour a day, a few days a week, and you'll have a full-fledged up and running company. That's not the case. To get into Amazon, there's a lot of stuff you need to learn. In fact, it gets overwhelming, the amount of stuff that you need to learn. So you need to be able to dedicate time, not even just to get the business up and running, to learn the business first before you start and jump in and make costly mistakes, right? So you want to do your homework, you want to do your research, and you want to spend time to do that. I like to say if you can do 10 to at least 15 hours a week, you're good to go. Anything more than that, then you are really good to go, right? And the next thing is you're going to need money. Now, this is a whole topic on its own. How much money do you need to actually get your first product ordered and launched and, optimized and all that? But we like to say at least 3,000 US dollars. Now, I know that's a lot more than a lot of other gurus tell you. You've probably heard people say you can start for 500, you can start for 1,200. Typically, to be safe, we want at least 3,000 US dollars to get that first product. Now, can you start for less than that? Absolutely. If you find a product, the perfect product that, sells for 25 bucks and it only costs 80 cents to make, you can buy a bunch of units for really cheap, and then, maybe don't use a viral launch, just go the free way, go jump send. But then at the end of the day, you're cutting corners, right? To make it fit in a smaller budget, you're going to be cutting corners. Now, I did do a whole video on this called Why You Can't Find Products. It kind of breaks down why people kind of do it backwards. I always say find the product first and then find the money to get that product, as opposed to saving up a budget and then trying to cram a product into that budget, where you're really just cutting your legs off before you start even trying to run your Amazon business, right? And next, these are really things you just need to understand more than need to have. Patience. Now, I know this one's kind of cheesy, maybe you kind of think it's a filler, but this is really true. You do need patience to jump into this game, because there's a lot of videos out there that have a lot of hype and have a lot of, excitement. They show this crazy lifestyle, showing the Lamborghinis, but at the end of the day, you can't it's not going to be an overnight thing. There's no such thing as an overnight success. You need to you need to have dedication. I was going to put here, dedication and patience, and make sure you're taking it slow. I'm not saying you can't take massive action, right? Grant Cardone, 10x. You can take massive action, but also don't get caught up in the hype and make hasty calls and rush it, because there's nothing worse than rushing a product to market, and then maybe you didn't spend the time to differentiate. You didn't spend the time to make sure you had a nice logo, a nice box design. You didn't spend the time to make sure you got nice pictures. Maybe you just think you can just take an image from a competitor picture and then put your own logo on it, which is something I did, which cost me a lot of money at the end when I got the copyright strike on my account, right? So make sure you can take massive action, you can move fast, but also move carefully, right? And watch your steps, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong, and you want to make sure you do everything right, and so that you can get everything right on the first try. All right, so that's the conceptual stuff. We have a few more things I forgot, more practical side. I guess I'm kind of running out of space, but you're gonna need to figure out I'm just gonna put biz here. Biz. So you have to decide whether you want to run as an actual incorporated business, or LLC, or a sole proprietor. Now, they both have their own benefits, their advantages and disadvantages, but typically I would suggest, if you want to take this seriously as your next business, or your first business where you're trying to create your own income, and you're not just dipping your feet, you're not just dabbling, you're actually going to pursue FBA full time, then I definitely suggest creating a business, an LLC or an LTD for us Canadians, and the reason for that is for mainly liability. Now, there's different tax implications and different ups or pros and cons for both sides, which is something you definitely want to look into, talk to a professional about. But the main thing is liability. So that means if you're selling a product like marbles and a kid chokes on it, right? If it's under your business, your LLC or your corporation, they can only go after the assets under that business. Whereas if you're a sole proprietor, they can go after all your personal assets. So your house, your personal bank account, your car, right? Everything inside your personal name. So it has a nice or big time liability protection to create a business. Now, the next thing you want to figure out once you figure out your business is your bank. Now, for Americans, it's not a big deal, but for Canadians or anyone, a foreign, a non-US citizen, you're going to need to figure out your bank account, how you can have a bank account opened inside the United States. Now, the reason for that is because Amazon, if you're selling on the Amazon US market, Amazon.com, they're going to deposit your funds in US dollars. Now, if you don't have a bank that's inside the United States that can take US funds as a deposit, then and Amazon sends it to your Canadian bank account, or they send it to your Australian or your whatever it may be bank account, and it converts that into your local currency, you're going to take a big hit in the conversion rate, and the fee to do that is going to be 3 to even 5% of your earnings, right? If you're making $100,000, that is a huge amount of money to take every 2 weeks, right? So you're going to need to figure out how you can get a bank account inside the US. And then that leads me to the next point, which is actually this one right here, and we're going to talk about more in depth, is a course. So I did a full 23-minute video on if you actually need an FBA course. It broke down everything from mentality to why people don't buy courses and everything like that. So I'm not going to go too deep into it here, but if you are thinking about starting Amazon FBA and you know it's a business you want to do, and you're probably wondering, you're thinking about getting a course, weighing the pros and cons, can you find everything online for free? Do you absolutely need a course? Well, the answer is, I'll answer it for you right now. You can 100% find everything online for free. Everything that's in a course, right? Even the most in-depth courses you could probably find online for free one way or another if you dug deep enough, if you did this step, went to Facebook groups and asked the right people. However, it's a question of time versus money. It's a question of self-sufficient narcissism. It's a question of status. Again, I did that whole video, but the biggest thing is, what do you value? What are you investing in, right? Because I like to compare it to a mechanic. Say you wanted to become a mechanic, a Red Seal mechanic. That's how you want to feed your family. That's how you want to find financial freedom. Probably not going to happen like that, but that's how you want to, provide for your family, feed your kids, okay? Could I find everything about cars online for free? You probably could. Honestly, with all the online resources there are today, you could probably find out how to take every single part of any single car apart and put it back together online, right? But how many more hours are you going to spend? More importantly, if you have an expert in the field, say you have, a car, Elon Musk comes up to you and says, hey, if you give me $500, if you give me $1,000, I will personally mentor you and I'll teach you how to become a mechanic. I don't know if Musk puts the cars together himself. Probably not, but that's the first thing that came to my mind, okay? Let's say Henry Ford came to you and offered you that deal. Would you do it? Of course you would. He's an expert, right? And that's the way I feel about courses. The question is, this is something you want to do as a business. This is something you want to do to make money long term, maybe set you up for life. Then why wouldn't you invest a small $500, a small $1,000, whatever it may be, for whatever course you choose, to getting that jump start? More importantly, to getting mentorship from an expert, right? The people that are selling these courses, well, for the most part, are experts at what they're doing, right? Be careful. There's some bad courses out there for sure. But for the most part, they're experts at what they do, and they're willing to teach you, help you, and guide you through the pain points that they suffered, that they've seen over years of doing this, and help you for a one-time fee of $200, which is way less, or sorry, not $200, probably $500 or $1,000, which is way less money than the money I personally lost by making mistakes on Amazon FBA. I've lost total about $3,000 in failed products. And I even did take courses, but that's besides the point. That's because I didn't actually ask for the mentorship, right? So if you're buying a course, make sure you get mentorship, because if this is something you want to do and you want to take long-term, the really question is, why wouldn't you buy a course, right? And if you're wondering, yes, we do have our own course. The main teacher is not myself. The main teacher is Nick, my business partner. He is a 7-figure Amazon seller. He taught me, he guided me and taught me the ropes of the game. And it's one of the only courses out there right now that is 9+ hours long and still offers personal mentorship, lifetime personal mentorship. So all up front, if you were to get the software, $200, okay? And then the course, $500, all in, that's $700, assuming you have a computer, $700 to start a business that can make you, I don't want to give out, elevated numbers, but $2,000 at least, $2,000 profit within the first month of launching a product easily, if you do everything right? We have students that are making $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 profit every single month, much more than me. So it's a formula, right? At the end of the day, are you gonna be successful at Amazon? Yes, if you follow the formula, because that's all it is, right? It's proven, it's repeatable, and something that's proven and repeatable, it's easy to do again if you just follow the steps, right? If you follow the right guidance, you follow the steps, it's something that you can definitely do. So that's everything you need to start Amazon FBA. Let's go over it. You need a computer with internet, okay? You need to network on Facebook groups, Reddit. You need to study, do your homework. Start with the free resources. Start with YouTube videos, which you're already doing, blogs, podcasts, free courses. Then, once you're ready, jump into software, buy Viral Launch, buy Jungle Scout, or you can do the DS Amazon Quick View. It's a longer method. But then get your seller account set up. Remember, you can get a refund on your seller account. And then things you need to understand is you need time, you need money for sure, and you need patience and dedication, right? And when it comes to money, you don't need your own money. Using other people's money is a big and one of the biggest, best ways to scale your business using leverage. But that's a whole nother topic, right? And then you need to figure out if you want to do a business or if you want to be a sole proprietor, and then figure out your banking. If you live in the States, that's easy. And then if you feel like you want to take Amazon FBA really seriously, then jump into a course because it will fast track your success. You can find everything online for free, but why would you want to do that, right? So I hope you enjoyed this video. That's everything. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to become an empire builder. Now, what is an empire builder? It's every single one of you that's watching this right now that is willing to work day in, day out to build your very own empire. But most importantly is that you never give up because you know that your empire awaits. I'm Gerald, and I'll see you guys later.